In the previous session, I had dictated one piece of the Veda mantra. Surya Chandramasau Dhata Yatha Purvam Akalpayat. Surya Chandramasau Dhata Yatha Purvam Akalpayat. So I was mentioning that a few points are in it. That is, Yatha Purva means previous creation was there, and is a present creation, and there is going to be future creations also. So it's a big chain of Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. This is what I was mentioning in the last session. And creation, I made it clear, it's not the creation of Sat or Satchit or Satchidananda. These three are existing. They have no creation, they have no destruction. It's Anadi Ananta. Out of this Sat, Satchidananda, the omniscient, set up this whole universe with its own laws and regulations and systems for the sake of the Satchit. And it is not for the sake of Sat. Sat is inert, it has no consciousness at all. Whereas Satchit, they got the Chit, that Prajna, and they are after bliss. They are searching for Ananda. But for that, they have to work. They need some tools, they need some place where they can work. And all that has been provided by that Satchidananda. And the raw material what Satchidananda has used is that inert Sat. So using that, he has created his whole universe. And just to mention two, Surya Chandramasau Dhata Yatha Purma Kalpete. That Satchidananda created this Surya, that created this Chandra. Now when I go through several mantras which are earlier and after that, it speaks of so many other things as representatives. The stars, the planets, the Milky Way, so many things. They have all been created. And on this, in this solar system, the earth, the water, the plants, and all the creatures. Now, one more thing is there. As far as we know as on date, life is there only on this planet called Earth. But the Veda mantras say, like this there are hundreds of solar systems, hundreds of planets like Earth, and there are creatures. And the Satchit, the Atmas, they move on from one solar system to another solar system, one planet to another planet, one body to another body. Bhuvaneshu, that is the word they use, Bhuvaneshu Antaha. Sasadrichihi, Vishuchihi, Vasana, Avarivarti Bhuvaneshwantaha. That's what it says. So these Atmans, they take different tools, that is different bodies. The bodies which walk straight, which walk horizontally, that's other than the human form, and they keep on moving from one loka to another loka, one bhuvana to another bhuvana, one place to another place, and within one place, from one body to another body. So all these things are explained there. As far as our knowledge and our tools are concerned, what we use, maybe our body, our sense organs, or maybe tools what we have created, the instruments. Using all those things, still we are not able to find out another world, another planet where living beings like us are there. Yes, there are a lot of discussions about this UFO, unidentified flying objects, and scientists have been sending messages through different frequencies and radiations, expecting some response from some corner of the universe. Yes, they are all doing it, but so far we don't have a concrete proof. The only proof what we have got is the words what they are used in the Vedas. Okay, by taking it or not taking it, there's no difference at all. Our living in this human form on this planet has to be useful. That remains finally. So Surya Chandrama Saudhata Yatha Purvama Kalpayat. It created in the same way. The universe was set up in the same way. And I was referring to this generation, operation and destruction. Creation, maintaining it, and finally they collapse. Now these three are the exclusive powers of God. Creation, operation and destruction. We are not capable of doing this. Of course, we are capable of doing this at a very, very small scale. Very small scale. Using the Panchabhutas. Using the Panchabhutas, the five elements, yes, we can create something. We can operate it. And at one point of time, it collapses. It gets distracted. That is the system, not the basic raw material. Basic raw material is Anadi Ananta. It doesn't get distracted. That's what science also says. Matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. Yes, perfectly right. Now these three, that is creation, operation and destruction, are the exclusive powers that are with God. And power, we have got a Vedic word that is called as Amba, Ambaka. Ambaka is power. So God is endowed with the quality of God, the phenomena of God has got these three powers. Generation, operation and destruction. Ambaka. So there are three types of powers. So it's called as Triambaka, it is called Triambaka. You are familiar with this word Triambaka. That Triambaka has come like this. What they call it as Mrutyunjaya mantra, there it starts with that only. Triambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam. That Triambaka is this. Unfortunately, in the Puranic background, they call Triambaka is Shiva with the trident and other things, so many things they say. No, they're all just, what I can say, imaginations, illusions. It's not a fact. Ambaka is power, Ambaka is the capacity, and it has got three capacities. So God is called by another name called Triambaka. 3 plus Ambaka, Triambaka. So what are those three things? That is generation, operation and destruction. So in the generation part, this comes. Surya Chandrama Saudhata Yatha Purvama Kalpayat. Now this is a parallel theory, what we have got for the creation of this universe. We have got very popular theories regarding creation of universe. One is that of the Darwinian theory, that's the evolution theory, where it starts from a single cell and from there it starts developing into multi-cellular organisms and finally the human being. It's the evolution theory. And another theory what we got is the black hole theory, the Big Bang theory. In the Big Bang theory also they speak of the creation of the world. Everything was compressed in the black hole. Black hole is something one can get in and it cannot get out. So everything got into the black hole, and at one point of time the black hole became so dense that there is a big bang and it exploded. And because of the explosion, yes, this whole universe was created. This is another theory. Of course, these two theories, Darwin theory has been contradicted very early. So they say it is not correct, because if evolution theory is right, then you should find the evolving creatures. Even now. So for example, one example they give is, man is out of monkey. Okay, right. Monkey is converted into, or monkey has evolved into the human being. Okay, we shall accept it. But we should be able to find the intermediary stages. Okay, monkey is there, human being is there, but intermediate stages are not available. We are not able to see it. So, it is not a sudden change. The example what he gives is evolution. It gradually changes into. So, the intermediary gradual changes what you find in a monkey or a gorilla or a chimpanzee, whatever it is. which gets converted into a human being, those things we are not able to find. We have got so many missing links. So Darwin theory has been contradicted and is no more valid as on date. And regarding this Big Bang theory, also one great problem is there. The whole of Big Bang theory speaks about the material, including light, which is absorbed by this black hole, and because of that density, that pressure, it exploded. Okay, that's all fine. But what about life? What about life? That is chit part of it. The chit part of it, there is no explanation in that Big Bang theory. Of course, the creation of the universe, the creation of the planets, the stars, the sun, the moon, yes, all can be explained with the Big Bang theory. But from where the life came? No, we have no answer there. So even the Big Bang theory is not able to answer all the questions. It has got its own limitations. Whereas when you come to this Vedic explanation of creation, yes, it seems logical. There is, wherever there is a system, maybe solar system, for example, wherever there is a system, behind that system we find two forces. One is the creative force, another one is the protective force, creative force and protective force. Another way we can call it, one is a Jnana Shakti, another one is a Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Unless the Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti come into play, there can never be a system. Anything. Okay, now we are discussing on internet. Now how this has come into existence? Somebody would have conceptualized this internet earlier. Okay, if I do like this, this will happen, this will give the connection, satellite has to be formed like this, created like this. Okay, someone would have thought about it. Someone should have got the blueprint of it. Now whatever is there in the blueprint, that should be executed by other scientists. They understand each and every part of that blueprint, and they construct a satellite, place it in the orbit, create instruments which can converse, which can connect itself with the satellite. So at every step, there are two things we can observe. One is the Jnana Shakti, another one is the Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti is the conceptualization and Kriya Shakti is implementing it. So when these two things happen, yes, the satellite in place, the internet is in place, all our laptops and computers are in place, and we can converse, we can see each other, we can talk to each other. This solar system is a system where there is some definite way of doing things. So, behind the solar system also, we can always infer that there is one Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Anything, you take it from the micro level to macro level, it doesn't matter. Solar system is at a macro level. Micro level, an atom. We find system in an atom also. We have got subatomic particles. We have got a nucleus. Within it, we have got a proton and neutron, and around which the electrons, they rotate, they revolve, and they move in orbits, SPDF, so many things they speak of. So it's all a system. And depending upon the atomic number, the property of the atom, the molecule, the element, it changes. We have got definite system. We can predict, we can understand it, and finally use it. There are so many things. Now behind these systems, there has to be, there has to be a Jnana Shakti and a Kriya Shakti. If Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti is not there, this cannot happen accidentally, randomly, coincidentally. It cannot happen. Behind every system, wherever you see, around us, in us. So just take example of our voice box. It's in our throat. A lot of things are there. It's a wonderful, beautiful system that we have to understand. We got some thread-like things upon which the air blows and they vibrate and the sound is created. And the sound what is created is not of the same pitch. It varies. It could be at a lower pitch, it could be a higher pitch, it could be different volumes. All different volumes and variations, modulations, pitch, everything is done with that single voice box. So how it happens? It's a wonderful thing to understand. There are thread-like things, ligaments which are thread-like things. And depending upon their thickness, everything changes, depending upon their thickness. That is, the pitch and the volume. The amplitude they call it. Depending upon the amplitude, the frequency, yes, we get the pitch and the volume. So all those things, depending upon my mental control over those voice box, yes, I can talk loudly or I can talk in a very small way. And it could be different pitches. It could be bass pitch or it could be shriek. There could be shriek also. So all these things can happen with that same voice box. And it's controlled by my intention, whether I want to speak loudly or whether I want to speak in a low voice, in a low pitch or a high pitch. So there's a coordination between the brain and the voice box. Now these things, they show us that there's a wonderful system working there. Now who created this system? Now this system is not created by us, very clear. There was a higher cosmic law according to which this was created. And who created that law? Who is responsible for that law? Behind that we always infer one Jnana Shakti and one Kriya Shakti. And that Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti is what we are calling it as Satchidananda, which is omniscient and omnipotent. It is omniscient, it knows everything. It's omnipotent, that is capable of doing it. And where it is done, everywhere, therefore it is omnipresent. This seems to be a better theory which explains the creation. Now each Satchit has got its own instrument, its own Sharira, Indriya, Manas. And it's not the same. It differs. How do you explain this? Now once again, if we take the Vedic science, there's an explanation for it. Every Satchit has got its own package of karma phala. So depending upon the karma phala, they get their instrument. That is the Sharira, Indriya, Manas. So as many questions as we ask about it, yes, we have got an answer. The basic assumption is, now this I am stressing, any science, any knowledge will have basically some fundamental assumptions, or you can call them as axioms. AXIOMS, axioms. Now these axioms are self-evident statements which are stated without proof. No proof is required because it is self-evident. And lesser the axioms, better the theory. Lesser the axioms which can explain most questions is the best theory. And that we find in the Vedas. What are the basic assumptions we have got? Three entities, Sat, Satchit, Satchidananda, which are beginningless and endless. And the cycle of Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, within that birth and death and bliss, the moksha. These are the basic assumptions we have got. Once we are ready with these basic assumptions, yes, all the future things can be explained. Now, because it can explain most of our questions, yes, the assumptions what we have made has to be true. This is a method what we follow in science and mathematics also. You say, let us assume like this and try to find an answer for the real thing, what is there, reality. So when the reality cannot be explained, then we doubt the assumption. If the reality is proved and explained properly, yes, the assumptions what we make is considered as true. So this is how we do it in science and mathematics. The same logical and scientific way is followed in Vedas also. Take these assumptions, work out. If you get the result at the end, that means the assumptions are okay. If you are not getting the results, then we change the assumptions and something is wrong with the assumptions. But here, the assumptions what I said just now, they hold good. Now keeping that in mind, if you are able to get the answers, another question is there, Surya Chandramaso Dhata Yatha Purvama Kalpai. Why it was created? Why it was created? Now the answer is very clear. That is for the sake of the Satchit, and out of which it was created out of Sat. Sat is beginningless, endless. Satchit is also beginning and endless. And it was created by an omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent entity, and that is nothing but Satchidananda. So any number of times you tackle this from any angle, from any quarter, with any question, yes, we get a beautiful answer for that. Therefore, the basic assumptions what we have made is self-evident. The basic assumptions are self-evident and are true. This is how you work back. So in this background, I have to understand this statement. Surya Chandramasau Dhata Yatha Purvama Kalpayat. When I say Dhata, Dudhai Dharana Poshanayoho, there I am speaking of one Jnana Shakti and one Kriya Shakti. The Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti, the creative force and the protective force put together is Dhata. Dudhai Dharana Poshanayoho. So with that, this statement along with other statements in that series, they speak of the creation of the universe, well explained, scientifically explained and logically explained. Still if there is a question, yes, we can tackle that question and with the help of these mantras, we'll be able to find an answer. Next. Yes, please. Yes, please, tell me.
Yeah. As creation and destructions are like it's continuous.
Generation, operation, destruction.
Yeah, then what all the advancement we got now?
It's like running into crores of years.
Yeah, I agree with that. The things which we have got a lot of advancement now in science and physics and all those things.
Right.
In the previous creation also, do I have the same thing like this computers, internet?
Now one point we have to understand here. 99% of the advancements what we are seeing here is all related to the physical world.
Okay.
Physical world. And very little progress has been done as far as the psychological things are concerned. That is the manas part of it.
Okay.
Then, whether these scientists are really aware of existence of the third one, that is Atma, and the fourth one, that is Paramatma, they are still in dark. They are still in dark. Now I am speaking of the existence of the Paramatma and its creation and its systems and rules and relations in that. And I am trying to explain those rules and regulations through these Veda mantras. Physical laws, even the physical laws themselves are not very clear. Say, how many species are there on this universe? No, we don't have a count. They say there are lakhs of species, that's all. But are we completely knowing those things? No, it's not exhaustive. We have got some list, but we are not exhaustive. Okay, forget about the universe. Take our own Sharira Indriya Manas. Are we thorough with our Sharira Indriya Manas? Do we know that? No. It's only trial and error method. So I got a problem, I got a disease, then I start doing my experiments, doing my lab tests and other things, and I assume this may be that, that may be this. If there are 3 or 4 specialists, they have got different opinions. And we are not very clear about the functioning of our very physical body and mind. Even today, it's a big mystery for us. In the best knowledge available, okay, we try to tackle this tackle the diseased condition of the body-mind. Most of the time we are concentrating on the body, but not the mind. Say, if you study the history of medical science, from the beginning they were concentrating on the modern science, actually, modern science, allopathic medicine. They are telling that all diseases are due to somatic reasons. Soma is the body. Somatic reasons. So they need to tackle it at the level of the body. But at one point of time they realized that no, it's not just the body, there is something else. They understood the psychic part of it and they called it as psychosomatic diseases. All diseases are psychosomatic diseases. And that's the level they are in. Now, after the psychosomatic diseases, now there is something else. Then they are up to this level, lifestyle diseases. Any diseases is a result of lifestyle. So in lifestyle, it's not just the mind, it's not just the body, and it's not a static condition, it's a dynamic condition because it's a lifestyle. Lifestyle is not static, it's dynamic. The moods keep on changing, our activities keep on changing, our thought processes go on changing, and the physical conditions they go on changing. The weather and the environmental conditions change. Now it becomes a complex structure. Even here they are trying to find out what's the cause, how they function. Still, we have got lots of grey areas. We are not thorough with that. So the knowledge what we have today as it is, with reference to human body itself is incomplete. Now they have taken so many years to go for this gene mapping, gene mapping, the chromosomes, the DNA and the RNA. So they studied this, finally they said that makes a person, that makes the attitude of a person, that creates this shape of the nose, the shape of the ear, so many things, and the qualities that they inherit. And they said, okay, we have completed gene mapping. Now, as on date, that's the position. Maybe tomorrow somebody comes, there are certain subtler things, so gene mapping is incomplete. Yes, it may happen. And whatever you do at the level of gene mapping, once again, it speaks about the inert body, the creation of the inert body. Behind this inert body, behind this gene mapping, what about the psychological aspects? They are not clear. What about the spiritual aspects? Totally unknown. So whatever modern development we are finding today is very, very, very incomplete. That's what I said. The whole modern science of the day is in its infancy. Infancy. It's just born. Whatever we have achieved now is just born. Because we have to transcend from this physical thing to the mind, that is manas, and from there we have to move on to the soul, and from there to the Vishwa Chaitana, Satchidananda. There are so many stages to pass on it. But luckily, we are given the Vedas, where they speak of all the three levels. They speak of the physical level, they speak of the psychic level, they speak of the soul level, and they speak of the spiritual level. Everything they speak of. We have to make a deep study of it and compare it with the modern science. Modern science, 99% is concentrated on physical changes. It speaks about physics, wonderful. So many physical laws they have invented, discovered, excellent. Chemistry, we have got so many laws, wonderful. They have found out what two chemicals give what result. But unfortunately, they are worrying about these two chemicals which result in a bomb. And that's the story I have to leave it. Now, whether bombs are required or not, whether arsenals are required or not, there is no answer in chemistry, there is no answer in physics. For it, we have to go to ethics. Now, ethics is not physical sciences. Ethics is something else which relates to the human psyche. And even there, what is right, what is wrong? Even psychology is not capable of defining it. The final answer as to whether what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, we have to come to spirituality only. Till today, we have not reached there in the modern science. Whereas I've been telling repeatedly, where that gives the strength, that gives purity to the soul is good. What weakens the soul, what impures the soul is bad. And what is impurity of the soul, what is purity of the soul, what is strength of the soul, what is weakness of the soul, all we have been discussing again and again. But these topics don't find a place in the modern science at all. They are all speaking in terms of subjective things. As far as matter is concerned, yes, they are objective. But when it comes to the psychic level, when it comes to the mental level, yes, they are still in confusion. You read the psychological books written by different psychologists. They differ a lot. They have got their own theories, they have got their own confusions. But all these things are overcome by the Vedic thoughts. They are very clear about the soul, they are very clear about the spiritual, that is the Satchidananda also. Is your question answered? If you have still got a question or doubt, please ask me again.
Yeah, it's okay. It's answered. Like my question was like in the previous creation, these computers and all these laws like created by, like invented by humans before also. Like that was my question. Like in that case,
yes, human beings have invented a lot that I'm not disputing at all. Okay. And they're still inventing, they're still discovering. But the volume to be discovered is so much, and what is discovered now, that's what I call it, is still in its infancy.
Okay.
The area what they have covered is too little. And they've got so many things. And another very important thing is, ultimately, this Satchidananda rules the world.
Yeah.
That means whatever laws, the cosmic laws, what I'm calling it, that decides what happens, how it happens, and what are the rules and regulations. That is stipulated by that Satchidananda. And Satchit, which has got its consciousness, tries to understand those laws and frames its life, leads its life. For that it requires tools, and the tools are the things which are created by the combination of Panchabhutas, and there also we have got rules. And that we are calling it the physical laws, studied by physics, chemistry, or whatever it is. So these are different levels we have got. Yes, human beings have been discovering about these physical things, physics, chemistry, fine. They are also discovering, they are also into understanding the psyche, the human brain, how it works, and what is responsible for the function of the brain. They have to move further back. There we have got the soul, and the nature of the soul and how it functions and the rules governed by the soul we have to see. That's what I was discussing in the previous class. That is, the influence of the environment shall be on the soul. And those impressions result in samskara, and the samskara makes it again to react with the environment. So prabhava, what goes in, prerana, what comes out. So it's a continuous thing. So this also has to be understood, and the law which governs this also we have to take it. Whatever we see will have an impression. So I have to judge what to see, what not to see. Whatever I listen will have an impression. So I should decide what to listen, what not to listen. If I listen to certain things, the strength of the soul increases. If I listen to certain things, the soul gets weakened. If I listen to certain things, if I see certain things, if I taste certain things, if I think about certain things, then the purity of the soul increases. And there are certain things, listening to which, eating which, or thinking about which will impure the soul. We have got different laws for that. So all this we have got here in the Vedas, but nowhere else we have got it. We have got it in several other religious books also, but half and half, not complete, not exhaustive. And so many questions remain unanswered. A few questions are definitely answered. But in physics, chemistry, the physical sciences, these topics themselves are not there. They all speak about the H2O, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, carbon dioxide, uranium, this and that. But they are all lifeless. They are all lifeless. Somebody must control those things. Somebody else has to manage it. They cannot manage themselves. That's why we call them as inert. It's only Sat. It exists, of course, but it cannot manage itself. Some other force, some other law has to take care of it. Certain laws, certain combinations can be done by Sachit. He can do it. In the chemistry lab or in the physics lab, they can combine 2-3 things and create another new thing. They can split it into spectrum and study it. Okay, it's all possible. But it needs one consciousness, that is the human brain. And this human brain is also not created by itself. It's created according to law. And who created that law? So it goes still backwards. That is Satchidananda. Now another beautiful assumption what I got is the Satchidananda is Swayambhu. Swayambhu means it is capable of managing itself. It doesn't need anything else. It did not create itself. That also we have to note. Sat Satchit Satchidananda are existing and they are beginningless and endless. Anadi, Ananta. So they are just existing. They never cease to exist. And nothing new comes into existence. These are the basic assumptions for today. And Satchidananda alone is capable of managing itself. Whereas Sachit is not able to, and definitely the inner things are not able to manage themselves. Now, because Satchidananda is capable of managing itself, we call it as Swayambhu. Swayambhu. Thus, it is dependent on its own self. For anything, it can depend on itself and do it. It doesn't need anything other than its own self for its management. These are the basic assumptions. With that, so many questions will be answered. We need something which can manage itself. Otherwise, okay, who manages Satchidananda? Another thing. Who manages that? It goes backwards and backwards. It is an unending process. This unending process, we call it as technically Anavastha. Anavastha is the word. There's an endless series of questions and answers. Endless. So somewhere we have to stop. So stop at Satchidananda and we say Satchidananda is capable of managing everything, including itself. Then the whole question stops there. There is no other way. There is no other way. If you are not taking this as a basic, fundamental, true assumption, the whole thing becomes complex and the whole thing remains unanswered. Somewhere we have to stop it. And that's where they have stopped it in the Vedas. I think I'm still clear for your question.
Thanks.
Am I clear a bit? Okay, thank you. So the next piece of the Veda mantra what we are seeing is Bhuyascha Sharadaha Shatat. Bhuyascha Sharadaha Shatat. Yajurveda 36.24. Yajurveda 36.24. Bhuyascha Sharadaha Shatat. Bhusattayam Sharadaha, we call it as Pratipadika. Sharadaha, we call it as Pratipadika. Shatat. Shata is 100. Shatat, beyond 100. We shall live beyond 100 years. We shall live beyond 100 years. Yajurveda 36.24. 36 adhyaya, 24th mantra. It is same mantra, earlier thing we have got. That is, we shall see for 100 years. We shall listen for 100 years. We shall lead a life for 100 years. We shall be talking for 100 years. And finally it is not just 100 years, we shall do all this beyond 100 years. That is Bhuyascha Sharada Shatat. That's what it is telling. Jivema Sharada Shatam. Pashyema Sharadashatam, Shunyama Sharadashatam. This is what we have got. Adhinahasyama Sharadashatam. Adhina means we shall be independent. We shall not depend on somebody to serve us. Okay, I'm not able to stand. Somebody come and help me. I want to stand. No. I'm able to stand on my own and walk until I die. Till my last moment, I should be on my own legs. That's Adhinahasyama Sharadashatam. Prabhavama Sharadashatam. Now when question comes, is it just 100 years? No, it's beyond 100 years. We can. Bhuyascha Sharadashatat. But to live beyond 100 years is not by accident. It's not by accident. It's not automatic. We have to work for it from day one. Okay, until we are 7, 8 years, we will not know what life is. We will not understand the seriousness of life. We will be childlike, we will be childish. We will be just doing whatever you want, talking whatever you want, eating whatever you want, sleeping whenever you want. It's an undisciplined life. We don't know what it is. But at least from the 8th year, 8th year I'm spelling approximately 8th year, I'm telling, when they perform this Upanayana Samskara. So then we start teaching the child, okay, life is something serious. The purpose of life is this. You have to understand these things. You have to do things like this. These are do's, these are don'ts. We teach them, we educate them. And that is Upanayana Samskaram. Upanayana Samskaram is not putting that sacred thread and saying you have become a Brahmin by caste. No. That Janivara or Janevo, what we call it as, it's not a symbol of caste. It's a symbol of our duties. It reminds us of our duties as human beings. It has nothing to do with, I repeat, it has nothing to do with the caste system what we are seeing today. Therefore, this Upanayana Samskara and that sacred thread is open for all, has to be done compulsorily for all, irrespective of caste, creed and gender. It's for all. It's very simple. Education has to be for all. Education is open for all, that's all. It's a process of educating a person to lead life in a purposeful and useful way for themselves and for the universe. Because they are part of the universe, they are part of the society, they are part of the world. So they should understand that I am an individual who is not totally separated from this world, I am part of it. I have got my own role to play in the universe. They understand that, yes, they are educated. The Gurukula purpose is achieved. So from there it begins. And from there, if they understand what their do's and don'ts are, yes, they can live for 100 years or beyond 100 years also. Now, chanting of this Veda mantra, Bhuyascha Sharadashatat, it gives us a positive impetus. It gives us a positive motivation for living long. Yes, we do have certain problems, fine. Physical, mental, spiritual, so many things are there. But if I determine to live for 100 and beyond, yes, it's possible for us and we can overcome all those problems and obstacles what we face in life. We will not be bogged down by those difficulties. Yes, difficulties are there, but we will not leave the battle and go back. It's a war, it's a battle. We move ahead, irrespective of any number of hurdles, any number of obstacles. We move, we fight it out and move and move and move. Because my goal is 100 and beyond 100. So this gives us a lot of strength physically, a lot of strength mentally, and a lot of strength spiritually. And that is very much required to lead the life. And that is a way whereby we can strengthen our souls, we can expand our horizon of knowledge, and finally what is the result? The soul becomes pure, the soul becomes strong, and we will be eligible to experience Ananda. If I leave the battle and run away, I'm a weakling, I'm a coward. And my soul becomes weaker, my soul becomes impure, and I can never dream of experiencing bliss. But I'm searching for it. So I'm searching for bliss, I have to fight it out, I have to move ahead, I have to forge ahead with full steam. So that full steam if I have to forge ahead, yes, I have to be very confident. I should have a noble goal. And what is that noble goal? To live beyond 100 years. For what? Is it for my selfish enjoyment? No, it is for purifying my soul. And how do we purify our souls? How do we give strength to our souls? By participating by participating, by coexisting with other creatures on this planet. We love them, we support them, we help them, we cooperate with them, we accommodate with them. Yes, finally, I become stronger. And by doing that, yes, I will be eligible to experience bliss. My helping my fellow beings is the greatest way of strengthening my soul. Being different from a selfish person, but a selfless person who thinks the whole universe is mine, all creatures are similar to me. I am part of this one family called world. I am a member of this family. You have heard of this? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It's not a Vedic chanting, but upon the Vedic thoughts, this is Subhashita what we got. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is, for all noble people, they think the whole universe as one family. And all creatures in this family, they are all their siblings. Fellowship. So once we get this broad outlook towards life, when you develop this broad outlook towards life, yes, our soul gets purified and our soul gets strengthened. And that's our ultimate purpose. For that, sorry, as many years we live, so much better. So it's not just 100 years, even beyond 100 years. Now Vedas speak of, if you really plan, a human being can live for 300 years, that's what they say. 300 years comfortably. That is a human structure, this physical body, mind, they are capable of functioning for 300 years. But unfortunately, we have degenerated. And when they say 100 years itself appears as something, a dream-like. But we do find so many people in different parts of the world who have been living for 100 years because of their life, because of their style of living. We do have even today. So they say in some parts of the Russian country, the average life span of people, it is around 100 years. Like that, we have got some packets here and there in society where they live longer. Even in India, we had it. Even in India, a person of 80 years, 90 years used to be very common. And they used to take care of their own work themselves. They never used to depend on anybody else. 80 years, 90 years was very common. And 100, okay, fine. And fortunately for us, my teacher today is 124 years, I have told you. 124 years, Sudhakara Sharma. He has studied all the 4 Vedas and from a very young age, he has been planning his life in such a way that now he is 124 years. Still living, still has all his faculties intact, and if you go to him and ask him about the Vedas, certain questions, other things, he is capable of giving it offhand, even now at 124. It's a wonderful phenomenon what we are seeing. And during his life, has undergone so many difficulties, so many hardships, still has succeeded to live for 124 years. It's possible, it's possible. Even we can do it, The only thing is, we should will to do it. That's very important. We have to will to do it, and we should at least change our lifestyle from the day we know about it. And yes, we can just expand our lifespan. It's possible. And that is what the elders give as a blessing. Dirghayushman bhava. Dirghayushmati bhava. It means you are capable of doing it. Expand your lifespan. How? Plan it. Understand it. There are so many things which eat into our lifespan. Be careful about them. Avoid them. What are they? Very simple. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. The Arishadvarga, what they call. There are different holes in this pot of life, and the life just pours out, oozes out. But if you plug them, yes, the life force will remain in the pot for a longer time and we can live longer. So this is what we have to do. So how to do it, how to think, how to talk, how to act, this is all said in the Vedas, very clear. Search for truth, be transparent, be straightforward, be honest, be truthful. That's at the level of the spirit. Then mind, think of the welfare of everyone, don't be selfish, feel for others, be compassionate. Okay, then how do you talk? Talk in a smooth way, talk in a friendly way. Let your talk give solace to those who listen to it. Okay, what do? Perform yajna. What is yajna? It is not just swaha. It is doing everything in the best way possible. Do it. Whatever you do it in the best way possible. To do it, you have to be constantly in a learning mode. Do it. This is a plan. This is a plan. Think like this, talk like this, work like this. Yes, definitely we can live beyond. Say, as on date, if you feel that, okay, my lifespan may be for 10 years, if I just assess, if you practice these things, definitely that 10 will become 10 plus, 100%. It's possible, it's possible. Whatever be the difficulties at the physical level and the mental level, the spiritual forces can definitely overcome them and pull on for a longer time. More time means more yajna. More yajna means better strength and purity of the soul. All these things have been told. And to remind these things, we chant these mantras to remind ourselves, Bhuyascha Sharada Shata, I shall live for 100 plus years. Now ultimately what will happen? If I am not able to live for 100 years or 100 plus years, definitely I can live longer than I expect today. That much is certain. That much is certain. Our life gets expanded by few years at least, under any circumstance, under any condition. It's possible. So Bhuyasya Sharada Shata is one motivating mantra. It's the one which influences us to live longer, to live better. Bhuyasya Sharada Shata. We shall see, we shall listen for those years. How? What to listen, what not to listen. We have got that parameter, we have got that scale, we have got that discrimination. So what is to be heard, we hear. What is to be seen only, you see. What are they? They are all auspicious and they are all benefit giving. What is the word for that? Bhadram. Bhadi Kalyani is the root. So you are familiar with this mantra. Yes. Bhadram Karne Vishnuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashema Kshabhir Yajatra. Yes. See what is auspicious, see what is good. What is good? That which strengthens the soul, that which gives the purity to the soul. So listen to only those things, see only these things, and do with your organs only such things. What is the result? Bhuyasya Sharada Shata. Over. You can live for 100 years. Shatanjiva Sharado Vardhamanaha. That's another piece of the Veda mantra. All these 100 years, Shatanjiva, how? With growth, with dynamism, Vardhamanaha. And we've got in other Veda mantras, it says, Prancho Agama, Tritaye Hasaya, Draghiya Ayuhu Prataram Dadhana. Draghiya Ayuhu Prataram Dadhana. Ayuhu, lifespan, Draghiya, by expanding it. How you can expand? Prataram Dadhana. Prataram means, in an exemplary way you lead the life. If you lead the life in an exemplary way, in the yajna mode, yes, the life gets expanded. You can live longer. So live long, lead a better life, lead a better human life. Yes, it's all possible, achievable, at the reach of our hand. Do it. But if we're ignorant about those things, we cannot control our own span of life. It may end any moment and we cry about it. There's no crying here. Deliberately we do it and we plan it, and finally when death comes, we say goodbye, hello, over. Because it's imminent, we cannot avoid it. But we are not inviting it. We are not running towards it. We are gradually, slowly moving towards it. and that expands our life. And for that, we remind ourselves by chanting this mantra, Pashyema Sharadashatam, Jivema Sharadashatam, Shuniyama Sharadashatam, Prabhavama Sharadashatam, Adinahasyama Sharadashatam, Bhuyascha Sharadashatat. We shall live beyond 100 years. This we have to remind ourselves again and again, so that whatever little discrepancies could be there in our way of life, we just patch them up, we just repair them up, and we'll be in a good mood to change those things and move ahead towards our goal. What is that goal? The strengthening of the soul and purifying of our soul. Why? So that we become eligible to experience bliss, and that's the highest goal that we can expect. You want to enjoy, you want to be happy, and the highest happiness is called as Ananda, and that too over crores of years in the state of Mukti or Moksha. So every minute of our life is precious for us. I cannot waste even a single moment, because in that moment, if I can do something which gives me one more moment of life, that would be excellent, because in that moment I can work for the betterment of my soul. So in this mood, we have to live our life minute by minute, second by second, so that we add seconds, we add minutes, we add days, we add years to our span of life. Bhuyascha Sharadashatta. That's what it means. Next. Bhutasya Jataha. Bhutasya Jataha. Patireka Asit. Bhutasya Jataha Patireka Asit. Bhutasya Jataha Patihi Eka Asit. So I have to split it there. Patireka Patihi Eka Asit. Yajurveda 13.4. Yajurveda 13.4. Bhutasya Jataha Patireka Asit. Okay, we shall discuss about it in the next session.